So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buzz the sides and the back. I'm going to use number 3 3/4. You don't want to go too short on this, and you don't want to leave it too long either. So like a 3 3/4 is really good. This is the Oster blade, so everything is different. So if you're using a guard, I'd say start with like a 4, like a plastic guard. I'd say go with number 4. So let's buzz this throughout the sides and the back. And then we'll blend the rest in by hand going through the top. So now I decided I want this a little bit tighter into the bottom here. So I'm just going to go in with a 3 1/2, which is a little bit shorter. And I'm just going to go right around to the bottom edges here just to tighten that up just a little bit throughout the bottom and the back. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to work into the back. And we're going to blend in the buzzer here. We're going to use scissor over comb. And we're going to work this in to the top of the head here. Okay, so let's continue to work upwards like this, and we're going to cut this to where it blends in, and then we can probably switch over to cutting it by hand, and we're going to be cutting it to where it's about, I'd say, 1.5 inches to the most in through the very top back of the head here, and then we're going to work this in going towards the front. Now the same thing on this side. What you want to do is you want to comb this down like this, and now we're going to work this in by going scissor over comb as well. And we're simply just working this extra length in through here, and we're going to work this into the top and back as well. So we're creating a nice little pattern so that everything blends in. But we're going to leave the front here kind of out just a little bit longer so we can go back in and blend it all in. All right, now we're ready to work into the top. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect this part right here in through the middle top of the head. Okay, so now we're taking a section cutting towards the face, and all we're doing is we're cutting a little bit shorter to longer. This way we have a nice blend of everything. Okay, and then once we have that done, we'll just finish this in the corner and through here. We can then pick this up right here in through the top back part of the head, and now we're going to cut this to where it's about I'd say 1 inch in length here, and we're going to continue to work our way towards the front of the head like this. So let's continue to work in this pattern, and as we get closer, I'd say towards like the middle of the head right in through here on the top, we're going to start to over direct slightly just to make sure that we can leave a little bit of that extra length in through the front. All right, so over directing means we're just pulling back slightly towards us. We're coming back towards us, which means it's going to leave a little more length as we work forward. Okay, so we're cutting the top to where it's about 1.5 inches now, and our primary goal into the front is to be about 2.5 inches, so it will be a little bit longer, and that you'll have that volume into the front here. All right, so here we are in the very front, and I'm combing it straight up, and I've got my desired length, and now I'm just combing it and basically cutting it straight across. And here we go. Here's the corner right here. And let's do that again on this side here. And let me just spin this around like this so you can see. All right, everything is looking good. It's looking exactly how I want it, like this. And now what I want to do is I want to just blend the corners in. And we do that again by just combing it straight out from the head and then looking for what needs to be cut, those extra longer hairs that stick out. Okay, those are the corners, and those are what we need to cut. Okay, now let's do that on both sides, and then right in through the front here, we can just round that out a little bit. There you go. So it has a nice little, you're able to spike this up right into the front. Let's cut the corners again on this side, so we'll stand on this side, and then we'll cut up like that. And then again, we'll do this on this side into the corner here. We'll round that out, and this way we're able to work this all in. So let's continue just to finish this up here, and then move on to the next step. All right, guys, so as you can see, I'm just finishing up the blow dry in through here, and I think this is looking really good. All right, so let me just break down kind of what I've done and where we're at. So first of all, you're probably going to ask me, how did I get this color? Well, I did bleach the hair out. You have to use bleach. Anytime you want to go lighter, you want to put funky colors in it, no matter how light or how dark, you have to bleach your hair. All right, you have to get it to a pretty blonde. I'm talking almost like a white color, and the only way to do that is to leave it on for like at least an hour, hour and a half. I mean, depending on the darkness, but you probably will fry your hair. You could damage your hair. Anyone who bleaches their hair, you know what it does. So just be careful when you bleach your hair. But if you don't leave it on long enough, it'll come out orange and very yellow. So anyway, I bleached this to where it's pretty light. Then I used a really cool toner. It had pearl and violet in it because the blue will cancel out any sort of orangey color, and the violet will cancel out any sort of yellow. Okay, so that pearl kind of violet is a cool tone, which will cancel out that excess warmth. All right, so now when I blow dried it, I basically blew everything straight up like this, the blow dryer, and this is the end result of what we got here with no styling product in it. All right, and I think this looks really, really good. So I'm just going to put a little bit of product in it, and then we'll be good to go. All right, guys, here's the finished result. I'm going to spin this around like this. All right, as you can see, if you want to tell your barber or hairstylist, I use a 3.5 here, then 3 3/4 up to here. Same thing in the back, and then blended everything by hand, and then worked it in through the top to where it's about an inch, then 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and to about 2.5 to 3 inches right here in the very, very front. Then I used a dry matte paste to get this look.